Welcome to a very special, days late recording of Weekly Rot Report. I'll get into why this video is late later, but I'm sure you can tell. You guys are smart. You can use context clues. Maybe this tan that I have has something to do with why this video is late, but that's later. I have my list here. Let's start with the first thing, which is what happened to being punk rock. Nobody's punk rock anymore. Do you remember when Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day got pissed off at that festival? As an historian of punk rock, this is where I say punk rock ended. Billie Joe Armstrong having to apologize for getting mad at the iHeart Radio Festival. They put up on the teleprompter that Green Day had 1 minute left. They were going to kick him off in 1 minute. Billie Joe goes, "Are you kidding me? I've been here for 20 years. You're going to kick me off? I'm not Justin Bieber." He goes, "I'll give you 1 minute." And he smashed his guitar. Did Biebs deserve to be the butt of the joke all the time in those days? He really didn't. He was just a little Biebs. But Billie Joe was right. He was right. You're gonna give Green Day, of all bands, 1 minute? And then his team made him walk it back. Now, did he say he was going to rehab? Yes. Which, in and of itself, getting sober, daring to get sober is punk rock. Okay? But he was right. Right? He was right to get angry. And do you remember when they announced that Metallica was going to do Moth to Flame at the Grammys? And everyone, rock music fans, were all like, finally, getting some representation at the Grammys. And then they said, oh, you know what? Let's get Lady Gaga up on stage with them. And Lady Gaga went up there and ruined it. Lady Gaga went up there and hammed it up. Eddie Trunk said it. He said, "God forbid there's 4 minutes of rock music on national television." Punk rock. I'm feeling a little bit punk rock lately. I think being a little bit radical has been working out for me. If you are watching this and you love me too much, maybe skip this section. Because it might give you a little bit of agita. I haven't made the appointment or anything. I'm just thinking about it. Probably not going to do it. But I'm thinking about, I really want a short, punky haircut. Like when Alanis got a haircut. Bad album, but it was punk rock for Alanis to cut her hair. It was huge. And the video, I have had my hair cut short a few times. It's very cathartic. It feels so good. And to have this like literal weight lifted off of your shoulders, a lot of literally dead tissue gone off of your head, you know? Feels good. And it is. I think like for a lot of women, it's this expectation and this burden to have this hair on. You have to have pretty princess hair. And it's brave. Like women are seen as brave to be able to have their hair cut. I've had it like to my shoulders before. So it's still kind of long when it's to my shoulders because I got a long neck. But I would like to go like really short. Almost like a Sarah McLachlan. A 90s Bixie cut. Or a French bob. Are you seething? But I'm a little bit afraid that my hair's frizzy. Fuzzy. My hair's like cotton candy, really. I'm afraid if I cut it really short, it's just going to be a fuzzball. Imagine it did what I want it to do, or what I think it could possibly do. Not like ringlets, but like I would have just like a little like just body in my hair. My ideal vision, that's what it looks like. And imagine I could just put some kind of styling product in it, or like throw a couple curlers in it. Or run a curling iron through it. Just give a couple things. Because really, I'm sick of this hair. I'm sick of it. I feel like I have mange. I'm sick of having it on my head. I'm sick of just throwing it up all the time. Well, why don't you just get a good haircut? Why don't you just get a haircut? Get a good haircut. Get the dead off. Or you could just keep putting it up. I know. I can hear you. You can find some hair. You can find a good product to help. I've tried. Think I haven't thought of that? I've tried. I used to wear my hair big. With the natural curls. And now I can't stand it. I was voted best hair in high school. I was voted best hair and most artistic. Don't know how. Wasn't that popular. Don't know how I got enough votes. That could also be why I don't like to wear my hair like I did in high school. It reminds me of being in high school. And I don't feel pretty. I feel like a high schooler. Probably just do another DIY butterfly haircut. DIY haircuts. Punk rock. Probably just give myself the Jaclyn Smith again. If I told you that I cut my hair myself at 10 o'clock last night, would you say, yes, I can tell? Or would you say, yes, bestie, Jaclyn Smith? I'm bored of the Jaclyn Smith. Looks nice, but I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit stale. Jaclyn Smith is a little bit stale. I want something fresh. I was going to say hot and fresh, but I want cool and fresh. Refreshing. And with the haircut, I want to get my ears pierced all the way up. Not really all the way up. I want to get a nice curated stack with some dainty gold earrings, gold and diamonds on my ears. And imagine I have my punky haircut and I tuck it behind my ears and you can see my earrings. And that's as punk rock as I get. You know? Maybe I'll get a graphic t-shirt. I'll have a haircut and some gold earrings and a new t-shirt. And that's it, you know? Does that make anybody feel better? Just a little character customization to get my mojo back. It's not a cry for help. I would think about getting a nose piercing. But my sinuses are too bad. Nope. I'm smart enough to know my sinuses are too bad to get a nose piercing. But think about it. It would be really cute. I'm not going to get a tattoo. I don't want a tattoo. I'm past my desire to get you just have to wait 10 years. And you're just like, you know what? Why start now? But I definitely, if you ask teenage me, I would think that she would have tattoos. But at this point, I'm glad. I love tattoos. I love a good tattoo. I love tattoo artists. For me, I'm glad I never got them. Really, my big thing, I never saved the money. You know what I mean? Never saved the money to go to somebody good. But even if I did, I don't think I trust anybody enough. I don't care your credentials. I'm supposed to trust you to do that to me. I don't trust anybody. We're just punk rock, you know? I might paint my nails dark, but I'm not gonna get a tattoo. Speaking of nails, has anyone ever tried Dazzle Dry? I want to try Dazzle Dry. You know what I want to try? I want to try Dazzle Dry. I had some press-ons on, and they lasted 3 days. Nothing wants to stick to my nails anymore. I want to try. I just want something on them, you know? To have nice, clean nails with something on them. I'll settle. Even if I have to keep them short, I just want something on them. I want short. I want nice, healthy, short hair, gold jewelry, and clean nails. It's not a phase. I need to figure out what I'm doing with the nail shop. Might have to do something punk rock, something radical to get the shop going again. Get me refresh. Reinvigorated. The theme is refresh. Punk rock and refresh. Stale is out. That I wanna do a clean slate every month. Get rid of everything that's in the shop. This is punk rock. If you didn't get them last month, it's too late. I'm not doing them. Maybe I'll start the scarcity tactic, like every brand does. Limited edition, and then bringing it back. Bring it back after it sells out. Make 4 of them, sell out of 4 of them, and I say, you missed them, and then bring them back. These are the ones that I'm doing this month. Next month, they're gone. Look at how, like, pissed off. Listen, you know? How afraid I have to be to... But being a little bit punk rock and being a little bit radical has been working for me lately. It'll also be a little bit less overwhelming for me. And I think maybe the people ordering. Like when you go to a restaurant and they have a smaller menu. I like that. I like a restaurant that has a more curated choice cuts. My nails probably didn't last because of all that sunscreen I wore the last couple days. I was in Montauk. For a few days. It was very spur of the moment. I've talked about it on the channel before. Last year we went during a storm and it kind of scarred us. That we were like, this year if we're going, we're like sniping a room last minute. So it was the day before. Kevin was up before me for once. And I turn over and I see Kevin and he's like wide awake. He's looking at me and he goes, what do you say we get a room in Montauk for the next couple days? And I said, put your money where your mouth is, Kevin. Do it. And he did it. And because it was last minute, we got a good deal. Was the hotel first time, last time? Yeah. We're not doing Beach Plum again. We usually do the Breakers. The Breakers is still my favorite if you're going to Montauk. It's so weird that I'm seeing like influencers, like Montauk is becoming like t-shirt and hat worthy. Like even when Amberlyn was doing Lol Cow Live, the other co-host, she had a hat on and it said Montauk. I'm like, what do you know? What the hell do you know about that? You know, how out of touch influencers are. And the woman was bitching about how she had to go and get her own groceries.
Sam's Club canceled our order 3 different times, so we are in this teeny tiny little town in the mountains, and we're gonna try and hopefully get all of our groceries for the next 4 days.
And she's wearing a shirt that said Montauk on it. I'm like, what do you know? Last year we went during the storm, all the beaches were closed. We're scarred for life from it. It was the cherry on top of the worst summer of my life. And this time we went and it was cloudy. And it was like halfway through the second day, we find out that there were wildfires. So I'm like, were we breathing in the smoke from the wildfires? Was it not clouds? It was smoke. And I checked the air quality on the weather app, and it was in like absolute danger zone, all the way at 500. I was like, oh, it was like, you know, it's cloudy. No one's really at the beach, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice for the sun to, you know, not be blazing on you. You're not too hot, and no one's here. It's a cloudy beach day is not that bad. And then you find out that it's wildfires, and I'm like, well, now I'm sad. Going on vacation probably is what has me feeling so self-conscious right now. You go away and you have these expectations of, I'm going to look like my best self. I'm going to have these outfits. I'm going to, you know, and when I go on vacation, I look like a shitbag. I look like an absolute shitbag when I go on vacation. The shower in the hotel room has no shower pressure. You don't have your exfoliating gloves with you, and you feel like just like scuzzy. Yeah, having high maintenance hair on vacation is always, it's the worst. And I have a crisis about my hair every time I go on vacation. I see women walking around straight after the shower, the post-beach shower, and then dinner after. And they're all just walking around and their hair is drying. Normal. What's it like to have normal hair? Next episode of Weekly Rot Report. Corinne interviews someone with normal hair. So what's it like to have normal hair?
If your hair is in between fine and coarse or thin and thick, or you have fine thick hair or coarse thin hair.
Walking around straight after the shower with wet hair and a pretty dress on. Comparison is the thief of joy. It is. And you want a good picture when you go on vacation? I don't have one good picture of me on vacation. You don't have your weighted blanket. The bed is hard as a rock, and you don't have your weighted blanket. And the people in the room upstairs are stomping around. At this place, okay, the last night, the shampoo bottle fell off of the wall. Like, it was just caulked. It was caulked to the wall, and it just fell off. So that woke me up. And then, until 4 o'clock in the morning, someone was fee-fi-fo-fumming upstairs, and I could not get back to sleep. So you sleep on the beach, you know? But it was on this trip that I decided that I deserved some new linen. I deserve some new linen summer clothes. I have been wearing the same summer clothes for 4 years, and they've seen better days. I just can't find anything that I love, you know? I don't want anything unless I love it. Not anymore. But I saw my white linen on the bathroom floor at Beach Plum. And I said, these look dingy. I saw some girls with some really nice linen pants or like dress pants. They were all walking too fast. I couldn't ask them where they got their pants from. I want some sick pants. None of them look that great on me. I seem to be the last person in the world to have a flat ass. I'm the last person. Since when does everybody have an ass except for me? Oh, I'm so sick of not having an ass. That's why I have to be more punk rock. Having a flat ass is punk rock. Being self-conscious is not punk rock. Being honest and vulnerable, punk rock. I should dress more punk rock. You know? The problem is when I was a little bit more punk rock, like I know what I look like. Do you know what I mean? Do I look like someone who could pull off being really punk rock? When I was more grungy, I look back at those pictures and I think, you look like you're wearing a costume. I can't commit to one look, you know? Can't commit to one look. I think we're all like that, you know? Some days you want to be Ozzy Osbourne, and some days you want to be Marilyn Monroe. So you can't commit to one look. It's also why I couldn't get any tattoos. I have to be a blank slate. Do you know what I want to bring back, though? I don't know if I think men are doing it more than women are. But I could picture Lizzie Hadfield. Was shots from the street.
There's babies on the street!
Was that her account? When wearing dress pants first became like a casual thing, everyone was wearing a band t-shirt with the slacks on the bottom. And I could picture Lizzie Hadfield in a Zeppelin shirt. And I could picture a picture of Gigi Hadid in a Metallica shirt with the snake and the skull, with the sleeves, like real side boob shirt, and a pair of nice ass dress pants on. That's what I want to bring back. But you know what I want to do? I want to tailor my graphic t-shirts. I would have to get a new sewing machine. My sewing machine is from when I'm 9 years old. I'll have to learn how to sew and get a new sewing machine because when I have jams all the time. Hem it, crop them to the waist, and cap the sleeves to make them like more feminine. Not like princessy, but you know what I mean. Just more flattering. DIYing your clothes. Punk rock. If I was really punk rock, I would just cut them, right? But I want to look a little bit more put together than that. If you want to look like Macho Man, it's fine. You can look like Macho Man. I don't want to look like Macho Man. We didn't get any souvenir t-shirts in any of the shops in Montauk this year. The problem is I could not tell what was AI or not. Some of them are like totally obvious. I know that is an AI design, but sometimes like it kept making me second guess. I'm like, is this one AI too? So a picture of, is it Io Debris from The Bear? She was in a shirt that said, "Don't talk to me about AI, I'll kill myself." Kevin and I started the new season of The Bear. The new and last season of The Bear. We're 3 episodes in, and it feels like, I don't know, it feels lazy or something. Like, does the whole season take place in one day? No spoilers, don't spoil it for me. But does the whole season take place in one day? All 3 episodes have been in the same day so far, and it feels like they shot it in the same day too. And Hans Zimmer did the score. I always think they pick really good songs for the soundtrack. Daring to try something new is punk rock, but I think the show was way more punk when they were making sandwiches and playing New Noise by Refused. It's more punk rock. Yeah, and all the characters seem like a caricature of themselves. That's something that happens when a show goes on for too long. The characters become caricatures of themselves. It is no secret that SpongeBob is my favorite IP of all time. But for me, the show ends at the first movie. That's what Steven Hillenburg had it in his mind, that this is where the show ends. You have an artistic vision, you stand your ground, this is when it's going to end. Breaking Bad, the perfect amount of seasons. There is a YouTube video about The Office and how The Office went on for too long and how the characters become caricatures of themselves the longer the show went on. I don't want to become a caricature of myself, which is why sometimes I have to get real on you guys. I try to make these videos try to make these ones a little bit more fun. Sorry if this one is a little bit of a downer. I'm also talking about a lot of like girl stuff in this one. Girl stuff, you know? Still don't know who my audience is. I don't know if any guys are watching this like, I'm not a girl. I don't want to hear about linen pants. That's not who I want watching me anyway, so good riddance. You know? But punk rock to not care. Afraid to shake it up a little bit. Picking up a little bit of momentum. Can't divert too much. But I don't, you know? So I wanted to talk about this. The Wonderful World. It's impossible for me to say this title. The Wonderful World That Almost Was. A Life of Peter Hujar and Paul Thek. I love it so far. I think it is exactly what I need to read right now. It looks a lot bigger than it is. There's a huge notes section in the back and pretty big introduction, which I skip. This is something that I've been meaning to talk about on the channel for a while. How do you feel about introductions to books? Do you read them? Do you skip them? I saw some discourse floating around on the internet, either for or against the introductions of books. Like, if the introduction to your video is too long, I will skip it. Or I will turn it off. I also want to talk about, are you for or against biographies? I usually have a little bit of a stigma. I'm like, no, I want I need a first-hand account. I want an autobiography. But the more that I think about it, there's a place for biographies. You get more than one person's account. For an autobiography, you only get the one person, and they can choose to spin it however they want to. Everybody has their own truth. Everybody has their own perspective on the story. Everybody has their own feelings. But you're only getting one when you read an autobiography. And with my like deep dive vibe that I've been doing lately, I love it. I love it so much. And all these artsy fartsy types, I say that endearingly, they have diary entries. And sometimes are beautifully written diary entries of what happened during these events. And that's been my favorite part of the book. Peter Hujar and his boyfriend before Paul, his name was Joseph, and they lived in Italy, and they had some guests come. One of them being Linda Rosenkrantz, who we talked about when we talked about Peter Hujar's Day a couple episodes back. Tensions are a little bit high in this house in Italy, and everyone's getting on each other's nerves. And Peter has, as Linda calls, a tantrum. A Peter tantrum. And Linda writes about this incident. And he smashed dirty dishes. He was sitting at the table and threw dirty dishes into the sink and smashed them. And Linda writes, "It was neurotic and wrong and made me very happy." And it also says, which I think is interesting, his sharp withdrawals into himself would always be difficult for Peter's friends to grasp, because they diverged so much from his tenderness and warmth and humor. But it is one of several traits belonging to his saturnine personality. And this saturnine word is so interesting to me, because this is the book that I brought with me when I went to San Diego. This is Born Under Saturn. I didn't finish it. It's not boring, because really it's fascinating, but it's dense. It's a little bit dry. This book is a study of the behaviors of artists, mostly during the Renaissance, and how during medieval times, artists were lumped in with craftsmen. But this book argues that artists are different. They have a totally different nature from craftsmen. While maybe it seems a little bit woo-woo to some people, what it says on the back is, where the skilled artisan had worked under the sign of light-fingered Mercury, the ambitious artist identified himself with the mysterious and brooding Saturn. So the word Saturnine traces back to medieval astrology and alchemy. Astrologers believed that people born under the astrological influence of the planet Saturn were cold, slow, and depressed, mirroring the planet's remote, slow-moving orbit. In medieval medicine, this was linked to an excess of black bile, which led to melancholic and sullen moods. Do you know what this sounds like to me? Dry rot. Do you get it? Are you following me, camera guy? These books are making me feel less alone. They're making me feel more understood. That for the past few 6 or 7, when does a few years become several years? It's been like 6 or 7 years. I have been suppressing this part of me to maybe be more palatable, or maybe to grow up a little bit. Like, at what point is it not cute to be moody? Don't be so moody. Grow up. I'm very melancholy. My mom says it. She goes, "You were born that way. That you were born moody. Just born under Saturn." She never said I was born under Saturn, but you know, I've been like this since I'm a baby. I'm just born under Saturn. And I did always think I'm an artist. This is the way artists are, you know? But having to suppress it all these years, and like I don't want to diminish anything. I don't want to, you know, make excuses for anything. But it is like you can't be anything other than happy, or everything is some kind of mental illness. Should we be smashing plates? No. Nobody should be smashing plates. Do I sometimes throw a press-on nail across the wall when I'm unhappy with how it came out? Yeah. Will I rip up a drawing? Yeah. Do you know how much of your favorite art comes from dark places? Talented people have a darkness behind them. There's a darkness inside of me. A Joan Didion, of Francis Bacon, of Annie Ernaux, Jackie Robinson, even R.A. Dickey, Anthony Bourdain. My book's back here. I don't know if it comes across this way to you guys, but there is a stand-up comedy influence to these videos that I do. There's a lot of darkness behind stand-up. So what I'm trying to say is that I want to become one with the dry rot. Like the Babadook. Yeah. You can't let the Babadook... There's no getting rid of the Babadook. But you have to work with it. Can't let it take over you, but you have to let it stay in the basement and feed it worms. I feed my Babadook books. And it makes me feel better. So now, the theme for the channel lately has been like my first year retrospective. I did the reaction to my first vlog in the last video. I wanted to do a dry rot lore video. And I did a compilation. I went from my second video all the way to the one where I talk about getting that blood work done. It came out to 45 minutes. And it included anything with me talking about not feeling well or feeling lost in any kind of way. And I was going to do a reaction to it. And then I decided I'm not doing a 3-hour-long video of me talking about my woes, you know? I'm gonna have to wait for my own Geno Samuel. Corinne Elise, Dry Rot, A Comprehensive History. I'm not doing my own. But I wanted to include this clip from episode 3. And it is the first instance of me saying dry rot. And this is the unedited, extended version, director's cut of the clip. Finally coming out of that headache from last video. Finally don't feel like I have dry rot anymore. I finally don't feel like a Barbie that you left outside to get dry rot. So in the video that I posted, I cut out the part of me comparing myself to a Barbie. But I think it gives a really good explanation of the joke. That is the original imagery. Is you took your Barbie into the pool and you left it out in the sun for days to get dry rot. Barbie is stuck with this expression on her face. She's stuck with a smile, but she's rotting on the inside. And you think, Barbie, what the hell does Barbie have to complain about? She's beautiful, she's smart, she's talented, she could do anything she sets her mind to. Nobody thinks Barbie has anything to complain about. But maybe Barbie is hiding something. Maybe Barbie didn't want to go into the pool that day. There are a lot of expectations on Barbie. Some of them might be self-imposed. Anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, I would really like to thank you. Sorry, it's whatever. I don't care what you say. My videos can be late. Punk rock. Yeah. This is a little bit more like a week and a half rot report. And dry rot levels, a little bit high this week. Relapse on a little bit of dry rot. If you know where I can get a good pair of linen pants, don't tell me Old Navy because I hate Old Navy. If you have a good hairdresser, if you have a good piercer, let me know. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you next time. I love you. Bye. Je t'aime. Oui, je t'aime. Mon doux fromage. Oh, le petit déjeuner. Do you see it? Do I look French and punk? Cover up my forehead wrinkles too, maybe.